Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L, and now let's talk Shokugeki no Soma chapter 303. Okay, this is another chapter that has some flaws and it has some nice things in there. It's gonna be a good time. All I'm gonna tell you guys is that with this chapter, I now feel confident in making a series of videos detailing step by step everything that went wrong in this arc. In just a more technical fashion. It's just going to be like a dry technical analysis of contradicting premises, of reused assets, reused themes, retrudging through old character development, things like that. It's going to be analytical of, it's going to just be looking at just the story conventions of the entire arc as a whole, because there are a lot of spots here where the author kinda was a bit slipshod with what he was doing. So keep an eye on that. In terms of the timeline for when those videos get made, honestly, it'll take a while because it'll be something fun if you guys like looking at videos that are analysis of chapters and go deep into the storytelling technique. Then okay, cool. Those will be videos for you. But yeah, for this chapter, I think the biggest thing I wanted to just clear out, and it's pretty much the flaw for the chapter, is just the treatment of Megumi. Now, I will preface by saying that I forgot the name of the commenter, but last video a commenter mentioned that the Tsukasa law, or sorry, not Tsukasa, anyway, the author of Shokugeki no Soma lost his recipe person, and that's a fair thing to keep in mind, but at the same time, it's been months, okay, anyway, not the point. Just keep that in mind in terms of why cooking has been reduced. But anyway, I don't know if it's true. This chapter, Megumi, she got the Tsukasa treatment. Tsukada, that's the name of the author. But yeah, Megumi got the Tsukasa treatment. I'm not very happy with it, and this is like the nail in the coffin for me. It's bad. Like this was a cooking manga. It's a cooking manga, and now one of the main characters, you've skipped over her actual cooking process. Last time we got the foodgasm, this time we get to see a shot of her food. Guys, remember when it was, main characters doing stuff that the author would give us the first tasting portion and then the second tasting portion? Like that whole setup, like the way the Autumn Elections used to do it, that's gone now. And again, it's like when you miss that fundamental part of Shokugeki no Soma, that's what tells you that something is going wrong. Why is Shokugeki no Soma losing its main appeal? Why is it losing its main differentiating factor? So it kind of sucks, and it does suck for the Megumi fans. Mind you, Megumi did get to wipe out someone who is apparently really, really good, but again, because there is that lack of build-up, because there is that lack of history, because these characters are just thrown in there, there's just not that same level of satisfaction, such that you still have the Megumi fans saying is this Megumi's treatment? It's really interesting, because you read some of the hardcore Megumi fans and they're just still saying that when is it going to be Megumi's time to shine, even though arguably the time to shine was last chapter. But again, this is the problem. You're not really setting these characters up to have those big dramatic moments of victory like they used to have. The big dramatic moments of victory for Hayama or Rio back in the old days, or even when the Regiment de Cuisine started. I feel like in some ways the third-year stand-ins, back when Central first started, Rio versus the guy that had really good oven skills or something. It's just funny. That guy was better, and it's mostly because we got to see him for a longer period of time during the battle. So it's just interesting to see how things have fallen apart since then. That said, Megumi, honestly, Megumi did way better than I thought. I never thought she was going to beat Asahi. I think we can all say none of us ever thought she was going to beat Asahi. But it was really cool that she beat one of his main guys. We as readers know in our heads, okay, this guy is said to be really, really good. Even though we don't see any proof of that, we can at least say okay, yeah, Megumi was pretty cool. And that's really, once we're playing this game of trying to take out the best, you're just trying to extract it and interpolate and just recorrect that impression in our head, it's not really a good spot to be in as a fan. And it's really interesting with the author. But we finished Megumi's battles in 2 chapters, two cooking battles for 2 chapters. Again, I'm personally happy that we're not doing the cooking explanation process, because that takes up a lot of the chapter. But at the same time, that's my personal like, and I know that that's not good for the manga in general. But with this being finished up here, honestly, 310. I really think, yes, we're doing it in 310. Right now, the only other notable character that we have not seen is the guy that initially kidnapped Irina. So he's the only one that really has to go up against someone. And at this point, he's either going up against Soma or he's going up against Irina. Now, if the author just totally skips that character in general, then yeah, all good. Then we know things are definitely rushed. It might be Irina that wipes him out. Honestly, I thought it was going to be Irina that wiped him out, and it might still be that case. But now Soma is going up against Asahi, which leads me to the next thing. Because the author has not made a proper tournament bracket, it's hard to tell when characters are going to be facing each other. It's just hard to tell. And now we're at a point where, like, last week Megumi had her fight, and then this chapter looks like it's just straight right after that fight. Asahi's going at it. And so the problem here is, guys, remember the days when people got so exhausted that they needed a full 24 hours to recover? Do you guys remember that? And like, here we have Megumi going up against one of the best chefs in the underground, and she's not even exhausted. No, man, no, it was stupid when the author initially did that for the Regiment de Cuisine. It's stupid that he doesn't adhere to those policies that he sets up. You know, and because the tournament brackets aren't properly defined, we don't know when people are facing off. And because mana is a thing, we don't know how much influence she has in just saying, oh yeah, no, I just want you guys just do it. It's just, it's a shitty tournament arc. There's nothing good about how this thing was set up. This is just the author throwing in the people that he wants to fight without justifying, or without going that extra effort to justify it within his world setting. Like, how can you respect that? Not really. Of course, the advantage in that is that we might get to see the fights faster. Like, it really is, you know, there's advantages in terms of moving through things quickly, but then there's like the disadvantages in terms of maintaining story logic. It's kind of tough, and if the author is actually under some serious deadlines, yeah, you know, there is some sympathy there, because I don't know how much stress the author's going or is under to get this thing wrapped up. It's unfortunate. This is falling apart really quickly when you're losing. I mean, Megumi's in this arc because she's popular, and now she's getting shafted in terms of getting an opportunity to actually do something or to show off stuff. It's unfortunate. I think there is a bigger note to talk about though here when it comes to the superpowers or the superhuman abilities of Megumi. And I've said this since a very long time. What kind of lame power is hospitality? I think what happened here is that the author really couldn't go further in elaborating on Megumi's superhuman ability. I just think he couldn't. I don't think he could do it, because I think he realized that one just... It's hard to... Look, man, it's hard to take some character's style and call it a superhuman power. Especially when you have Soma arguably also hitting some really nice hospitality notes in his fight with Surge. Like, hospitality, the ability to be compassionate about other people is not a superpower. And the author could not go and detail how far that goes either. Now, mind you, he might still pull out a trick. He might have it with Asahi later on. Maybe he'll figure it out by then. But I'm not holding my breath. Now, what are the good things? Well, there's actually a few good things. The author, first off, you know, sometimes the Shokugeki no Soma author is aware of what he's doing. And in this case, he addressed, why does Asahi keep a suitcase full of people's faces and pictures? And it's actually a pretty good reason of, yeah, I just don't remember which knife belongs to which person. So actually, I like that. I totally like that, the explanation for why Asahi's like super villainous in that aspect. I really enjoyed that. That was really good. Next up, I do like that Asahi keeps on just despairing Irina. I do like how he goes about it, how he like had to realize that the God Tongue just can't do this. And like his mentality of, you need to cross unexpected styles together is what can bring about new flavors. Like that logic sounds good. It's really, really good. Like, I understand that. It's only by bringing different things together and mashing them together and throwing them around that you can see what really works. Yeah, I think Asahi is still stupid overpowered. He even says a line that kind of goes towards that conclusion in this chapter. But I do like that logic for why he could stand above the God Tongue's products. And I do like how he goads Erina into it. That said, I don't like that somehow Asahi has the resources to be able to investigate people to the degree that he can. I think that's just a little bit ridiculous. I mean, it's just like, look, man, they start this arc off by saying, oh yeah, the WGO has the power to investigate anyone, even the people in the darkest dark of the underground cooking world. And it's like, oh yeah, Asahi can do it too, and he can find out the WGO's best guarded secret. It's like, come on, man. Come on. Why? Because we just have to make him more of a supervillain? Like, it's just... It's dumb. It's just dumb. It's just another factor that goes into Asahi's supervillain persona. And honestly, I'm still not very happy about the whole WGO being able to do this, the investigative journalism that they've been able to do up to this point. Because really, like, that falls apart when you consider who's not at this tournament. But whatever. That's just my thoughts. But other things that were kind of alright. Mana giving away Erina is like, we know it was going to happen because they need to set up Erina as a prize again. They need to set up Erina in a position where she actually has to get rescued. I feel really bad for Erina such that she has so much pride that she decided to go along with a kidnapper's bet. And now she's pretty much... Erina has right now become a prop. She's just a piece in her mother's tournament, and it doesn't really matter. And Erina is so angry and so tunnel visioned right now. And this is like... The author is doing a good job of portraying this in Erina, but you know, I'm still not very happy with the circumstances that led up to it. But it's unfortunate for Erina. She's gone from the headmistress of Totsuki to just this piece that can be manipulated and sold off. And it's just, that's unfortunate. That sucks. Like, come on. Why are we doing this with her again? That said, I think it's pretty likely that we're going to have Soma facing off against Asahi and then Erina being the final barrier he has to overcome. I think Soma's going to make Erina some food, she's going to eat it, and she's going to think it's delicious, and then her mother's going to eat it. And then that's going to be it. I think Mana's going to be there at the final battle between Soma and Erina. So I'm very interested. Definitely, I think... Well, I'm hoping Asahi versus Soma happens first, because let's just get this out of there. Now... The final bit of like really good thing that really stood out to me in this chapter is specifically when Asahi says something about Takumi and Soma's previous dish. He said that if he just had their knives, he could make the product that surpasses even theirs without any of the sweat of practice. There it is, the key word. There it is. Asahi's well, not ungrateful, but he's an unappreciative person. He hasn't put in the hard work into mastering these skills. Instead, he just has superpowers. And it's like, okay, there's the contrasting quality. Soma's the antithesis to Asahi. He acquires techniques by practice. This is where the author's going to bring in that angle of Soma's been the person who works hard. And again, you know, we've already kind of seen this idea of a hard worker versus talent. Is nothing new, but I do appreciate that the author put in that line there. Now the next setup is when you have the judges kind of talking about Asahi towards the end, and there's like one person there saying like, oh yeah, this is absolutely ridiculous, and he's got so many knives. If you go up against Asahi, it's like you're fighting against multiple chefs at once. Who in the world could defeat something like that? And it's pretty simple. The person that can defeat something like that is Soma. The one who was displayed in his metaphor with the knives of everyone he's crossed blades with. Back in the Regiment de Cuisine, Soma versus, what was his name? It was like the third seed at the time, Saito or something? You know, the guy with the giant big knife. Yeah, that's Soma. Soma can go up against multiple chefs because he also has multiple knives behind him. It's just his knives are in his mind instead of actually being physical knives that Asahi is leeching off of. So I do like that. I do wonder if when we see Soma versus Asahi, we're going to see Soma with his multiple knives versus Asahi with his multiple people. I'm very, very interested in seeing that. I want to see if that's going to be the metaphor that we're going to go with. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me, guys. I'm good. Man, I have so much things to say about Soma. I think this is a spectacular crash and burn. Or a train wreck. It started with Tsukasa for sure. And I look at the Reddit and I love seeing how the Reddit has just been slowly losing the hopeful people. But yeah, this thing is over by 310. There's no way this thing is lasting past 310 in terms of this arc. I am so excited. And oh man, guys, you know, if Soma gets cancelled at 310, it's gonna suck because just at 300 they said that they were celebrating massive popularity. Huh. Yeah, man. Oh, rough times. That said, I did see that Soma went up in the table of contents, which means the editor thought people would be more interested in that than new offerings. So maybe that's a good sign. Anyway, this arc is still pretty rushed. We're gonna see where it ends. But yeah, let me know what you thought down below. Until next time, I hope you have a great day. And of course, guys, I apologize for always, you know, sounding negative. But I want you guys all to know that I'm still really enjoying this. I like seeing how authors react under what I assume is stress. I like seeing where the author is taking shortcuts as he produces this story. I like seeing, you know, like this, even if it's a crash and burn, it's interesting to see how it crashes and burns. I'm just very interested in it. So guys, let me know what you thought down below. Until next time, yeah, it's time for reals. Goodbye.